As the right back moves to support play, the right centre back here needs to move with her to give us that balance. I like the way we tried to build here, but we need to recognise the high pressure areas. We were overloaded here 4-3. We need to recognise opposition goal kicks out of their hands are mainly going to go long, so we need some depth and don't let it bounce. A good reaction from our centre midfielder in transition to get back goal side and win possession, and then a simple layoff to a teammate. So for opposition throw-ins like this, the fullback needs to be deeper. The winger needs to screen that player's feet, and the striker needs to screen any central passes. We don't mind it going backwards. A good example of build-up and circulation. The quick movements to get into positions makes it difficult to defend against. Switching play quickly helps bypass their press. The good timing of the movement by our strikers create gaps, and then the positive forward run to break the lines leads to the penalty. A good example of a pass back to provoke the opposition press. We then play wide and move the ball forward, taking out 5 players so we break the lines of the opposition. Good work. Good supporting position from our right back to recirculate and play into the 10, who picks up a nice pocket of space, then a creative flick over their defender, and also a composed finish by our striker. When in the opposition's penalty area, we just need to be a little bit more composed. So if the ball is set to you and you can play it first time, you should just be placing that when you're that close. Slightly out of structure again from the opposition goal kicks out of our hands. It goes past our centre midfielders and our centre back has to come out and try and deal with it, but then a better team could take advantage of this. Have a look at our midfield unit's shape. Where is the cover and support? Good example of throwing the ball into feet. The combination is this quick first touch. It's really difficult to defend against, and the support and movement ahead and around the ball is good. And then the run from the outside to inside is really difficult to defend against. Good work. Good recognition from our centre back to break the line in centrally instead of switching it across to the other centre back. Good position by the 9 to drop in. Can the other striker look to go beyond in these situations? For our throw-ins, if the opposition are set, ideally we don't want to go down the line, we want to try and build and control possession. A good example of pressure on the ball, but our striker needs to step a few yards back and force them to play back rather than across, because then they break the line. Good hold up play from our striker waiting for support, and then the run breaks the lines, finishing with a composed shot and goal. Good work. Good screening by our centre mid to break up the play, and fantastic awareness by our other centre mid to chip the keeper. Great goal. Good movement by our 9 and well recognised from our centre mid to pick out the long range pass. Also a good touch and a nice finish. A good example of a throw-in for us. When the opposition are set, we're still able to retain possession. A good decision by our centre back to tackle here, but watch the shape of our back four and our centre midfielder recovering. Perfect shape. Great job. Good example of the winger staying high, creating space for the fullback to drive into, and look at the shape of their back four in terms of our position occupying spaces. Good work. A great example of our centre back recognising that they've got space to drive into, and they also break the first line of pressure from the opposition, and then a good weighted pass into the wide player. Good recognition here not to play into the high pressured area and just play across and build again.